Welcome to the Commander's Brain. Woo! You can see that this room is a little bit confusing. There's not really a ground plane, it's just a bunch of floating debris. This makes it a little bit hard to tell where you've been and where you're going, and it's not too bad because the layout is actually very simple. But it does really disorient you, and that's on purpose, because her brain is busted. You're supposed to feel disoriented and confused. Most of the rooms in this brain are not this confusing, which is good because this room is confusing enough that you'd have a very hard time doing anything complicated in here because it would just be really hard to keep track. I think there are still some spaces in this brain where the complexity gets a little out of control, but we'll talk about that when it happens.
Oh, I don't like this one bit.
There are dice driving the car. Very cute. So the theming here is that it's not just a hospital anymore, it's now a hospital and casino.
Looks like Hollis had a spontaneous change in her worldview. Unrelated to my inappropriate meddling with her thoughts. Who am I kidding? I need to find Hollis's quiet room again and break that bad mental connection I made.
Now we're being introduced to big sensors. I actually can't remember if this is the first time we've seen them.
This is an emergency.
I guess it is. They're being introduced properly. So these big sensors are actually quite a challenge, just because they have so many obnoxious attack powers, and they don't flinch in the slightest. These are one of those people that will throw long-range attacks, they'll throw short-range attacks, they'll charge at you. They're a huge pain in the butt. But they're vulnerable to most kinds of weapons fire. It's just that because they have so many unflinching attacks, they can be a bit of a chore to get through without taking too much damage. There should be another one. No? There it is. If you pay attention to them, they're not that bad. You can still stun them and dodge out of the way without too much challenge. But they deal a tremendous amount of damage at every range, so they're a little bit of a
Your ghosts don't have to walk very... Oh, never mind.
We can get into using bad jokes on purpose some other time. A bad joke is the only kind of joke that everybody enjoys the same amount, which means that it's perfect if you want to control how much of an impact you're leaving on the player, or the audience in general. Anyway, as I was saying, this is now a casino hospital. Most of the brains in this game have two constructs overlapping. Usually it's an obviously artificial framing construct and an obviously homegrown core concept. In this case, we've got two homegrown concepts, but one of them is bad and wrong. The casino is not something that should be here. So we're going to be able to see how these things overlap. In this game, I prefer Psychonauts 1. Psychonauts 1, for this particular element. Psychonauts 1 usually had a single very strong theme, but it sometimes had secondary elements to it, like the fact that, the play was full of starfish and stuff, but it was never like the starfish play. It was just a play that happened to be themed. But what they did instead is they made Raz into different people, and I think that was just a much more powerful way to allow you to interact.
Damn you, live!
Full recovery! You did it, Dr. Potts.
Oh, call me Jack.
Jack
Let's go
Potts.
for double.
Yep.
Banana.
Banana! Infection?
Ah, dang it.
I'm so sorry, Doctor.
Ah, well, it can't be helped. Some patients are just bad luck. I don't like the look of these. Yes, the heart's salvageable, but the rest?
Should we fold?
No. Now, let's hold the 8 and the queen, and we'll pull for the inside straight.
You are playing a dicey game there, sir. So, I really enjoy these pictures. These are super creepy. You could probably make a whole game out of this particular picture. I don't know why, but that one is super creepy. Anyway, you can see the hospital is all twisted and warped at this stage. And we are going to
I'll just quickly pop into
have a fun little
Hollis's quiet
cutscene.
place and fix this
Keep your eye on how this evolves.
High Rollers Lounge. That's not good.
This isn't just exposition.
Oh no!
Rasputin, what are you doing here?
Sorry, I didn't mean to crash your hospital casino.
Oh, everyone's welcome in the casino. Without gamblers, how else would we make any money? No, you just can't be up here because it's the High Rollers Lounge.
Wait! Agent Forsyth, I need to tell you! Ah! Ugh. What the? Oh, phew. It's just the morgue. Huh?
Yes, Rasputin?
We got a patient here. Needs emergency access.
Sorry, the table minimum in the High Rollers Lounge is, $3 gazillion.
What? How much is a gazillion?
More than you got, kid.
So I know that some people will probably think that's a childish interaction there at the end. $3 gazillion. But that's kind of the point. Her brain has been frazzled to the point where we're seeing a lot of childish behavior out of her. I'm not 100% sure that I like that particular bit, but I do like this bit.
Open up! My patient is dying! He needs fancy drinks! Stat!
In my opinion, your patient needs an emergency dose of $3 gazillion.
So the idea is that we've got a couple of sub-missions here that we can go on, each one of which will result in $1 gazillion. Woo! Here's one of the more famous ones. We'll go in here and take a look. This one has an enormous amount of quotability to it. It's really fantastic. So you can see that it's the maternity ward, and there is a roulette wheel on there. So we can actually shoot along into the back here and pick up ourselves a little tag.
First tag.
This is a sort of thing that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. There are a few things that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. So one of the things that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention isn't actually here right now. So maybe we'll come back later. We'll see.
Careful, Raz.
How did you two get in here?
We followed you. We thought it would be fun, but...
It's full of babies.
Come on, looking for a little luck here.
We have to have a baby.
Or you could just, like, have a happy life together.
Oops, looks like the house takes it this time.
This time? You mean every time?
Come on, Lovey, let's try another number. We have to win eventually.
Well, this is obviously rigged, right? Adam? Lizzie?
So this starts
Guess
the
they really don't like babies.
background theme of the interns being kidnapped from right under your nose.
Definitely not any number with a 5.
Let's try the length of our yacht.
No more bets.
You can see these folks have a little symbol above their head which tells us that there is a mission.
It.
Haven't hit the gazillion-dollar number yet?
Oh, this isn't about the money.
We are already so rich.
So rich.
Yes, we just want a child. More than anything in the world.
But the confounded house always wins. I hate to say this out loud, but I have my suspicions regarding the up-and-upness of this low-down dive.
This system is rigged. Maybe I could help unrig it.
Oh, if you could do that, you could have all the money.
Yes, we don't care about that.
Because we're so rich.
Yes, very wealthy, it's true, but poor in children. Help us win a baby, and you, sir, can have the gazillion-dollar prize.
And our eternal gratitude.
Leave it to me.
So this is a technique I adore. First off,
Let's try
A+
it once.
dialogue, that was really fun. I loved it. But I love the idea that if you talk to various characters inside of someone's brain,
I just don't
it will
know.
pop up a thought balloon that you can use your connection on.
Spinning
That's just such a natural and powerful way to have these figments interact with the world. The fact that it really only happens in a couple of spots, all within this brain, is kind of unfortunate. This has a lot of potential.
Double zero. Double zero is the winner.
I know you're not supposed to say this, but money really does solve a lot of problems.
Now here you can see these little question marks. This is another really cool idea. These are dark thoughts. You can't actually run on the dark thoughts until you... well, which button is it? There we are. Until you upgrade your mental connection to rank 4 up at level 30 there. That's when you can actually ride on these dark thoughts. The only problem is, just like with the rest of the side elements in this game, the dark thoughts are universally useless. They just lead you to one figment or one little treasure chest or something. They're not ever taking you anywhere interesting or new. And that's just a shame, because there's such a large potential there. I can't help but remember in the first game how we had, Mia's room full of torched kids screaming, and how that was like the defining beat that set her on her path, and then
With another bet.
that would make the perfect kind of thing to put behind a dark thought, right? But instead it's just, oh, here, have a figment. Once again, we've got one of these shattered rooms.
Well, of course the whole system is rigged. But I mean, I'm just one person. What could I do about it?
We can unrig this game, but you gotta believe it's possible first.
So, even though this does go kind of everywhere, there's not really a ground element. It's one of those things that is a linear path that you take, so it's not that challenging to keep track of where you are and where you're going. Whoa! Well, it would be easier if I was a little bit less brain dead. Let's try that one more time. This time without randomly falling off and being terrible at it. Because this is what you need to do. It's teaching you to do those mid-air connection grabs, because that's going to be a staple of all of the things you're going to be doing here in the future. Now we could go and get that tag. We could explore this room to to every detail. We could really get this room going. But I don't think that that's something that's worth doing on camera. Exploring these levels is fun, and you should have some fun doing it if you're playing the game, but it doesn't really make sense to spend our time on it here. So instead, we're gonna just push through. So you can see that this path here is pretty cool. It's inside of a cylinder, and you can go on top of the cylinder. There's lots of cool stuff going on here. We'll just go on in. Ooh, there's like boots and stuff up here. Getting all of the extras in this room is a lot of fun. It's quite an achievement, really. Oh, well. That has a much longer range than I thought it did. I thought that I thought that I was safe there, but apparently it was closer than I thought. Oh well, we'll grab this half a brain. Hi. Half a brain should help me out. If I got another half of a brain, my health would completely recover. So we could lose the red jagged lines around the edges of the screen. I think it might also be beeping at me like life support. But that might just be part of the room. Yeah, it's just part of the room. So this time we're going to take care of some of these before we head on over. So, we have defiance connected to useless. What we actually need is defiance connected to effective. But you can see how this is just a completely straight path. There's really nothing to choose or solve here, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But what I think they're trying to show you is that these lines don't get disrupted by physical objects, which could be a very valuable thing to learn if some of these puzzles involved large physical objects being moved by switches or something similar.
Then again, how do we know we can change things unless we try?
And we have a winner! Looks like this time it's not 00? What?
We won!
Well, I guess miracles do happen.
You're telling us?
Oh, we are so happy.
Well, I'm dead.
Here, young man. I don't know what you did, but I'm a man of my word.
$1 gazillion.
We don't need it because...
You're rich?
Yes, but we don't like to talk about it.
Oh, look at our little jackpot. When does it start fulfilling all of our unachieved ambitions?
Right after we use its identity to hide our excess taxable income.
Oh, it will be so nice to have a couple of spare kidneys around the house.
I'm pretty sure I recognize that woman skeleton. I just, her voice actress. I just can't remember. Well, that's okay. I can probably look it up, I suppose. So you can see that what they do is they turn the outline pink.
$1 gazillion.
So you know that you finished it.
One lucky card does not make three of a kind, sir.
So, now we need to go on and do the others, but it has been 20 minutes, so I think this is a good time for us to stop. In the next episode, we will go over into these other areas. Not the high roller. Well, maybe at the end. Well, should be fun. See you then.